Yo, yo, yo. Ori is always first. Welcome back. We will be starting very shortly once we get a couple people in here. Early stream, guys. Early stream. Yeah, just gotta wait for a couple people to join up. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It's a very short weekend, I feel. Things just kind of flew right by. All the time just gone. Very good week and weekend. Is that in terms of trading or just kind of life in general? Because could be very different things. Hopefully it's both, right? Hopefully you had a good week, normally, like a normal week, and also a good trading week as well. I think Don mentioned he made like what 6.4% last week. Obviously, we're still coming back from a big loss, but we're not trying to make it all back in one go. So just we'll take our wins when they come. Life, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what you want. If you have a good week in real life, right, not to do with trading, there's a high chance that will actually translate over to your trading week as well. High chance, because you'll be kind of happier in general, right? You'll think, okay, yeah, I'm gonna follow my plan. Things are going well. You have a kind of positive frame of mind. But if you are kind of negative when it comes to the charts, high chance, right? Some sort of FOMO will actually affect you. You'll be like, oh, okay, like things aren't going well in my life currently. I'm going to need trading to be the one thing that kind of is good in my life, and because of that, high chance you'll FOMO, right? That's why at the same time, right? If you have a job, if you have like other income as well, it's less of a distraction for you, right? Because you're understanding that it doesn't matter if trading plays out or not, right? At the end of the day, you're not reliant on it. So if that's the case, you're going to treat trading as something you can take your time with, learn, right? Don't put that much pressure on yourself. But yeah, same with the negative framing of your mindset and thought processes when you come into the charts. If you're negative, you'll expect something from trading, and that's dangerous. Cool. Guys, I'm going to probably just give it about 1 minute, and now I'm going to start in approximately 30 seconds, actually. 5 past. Yeah, earlier stream, guys. Kind of just ad hoc. I don't even post this anywhere now. I just kind of go live and see whoever kind of comes along. But hopefully you guys are expecting something around this sort of time, right? Like between the times of like 9 p.m. and like 9 to 10 p.m. Sundays. Don't think I'll stay for market open, but market open could be interesting. So keep your eyes peeled if something does happen, right? But yeah, let's jump straight into it. So we have a weekly closure. That's very interesting. We don't get weekly closures very often, right? So every time we do, it gives us a lot of information about where price is currently going and where it wants to go, right? Okay, so monthly, I don't think I need to say much, right? We didn't get a breakout out of the range for February, so at any given point, this candle has no bottom wick, could flip to come down. You wanted to break the highs before you can come down, like truly come down. So this may be liquidity. We don't know, right? But as it stands, right, I'm very, very bullish. We're understanding that your previous month did break the lows of January. You tapped into this level we've been talking about for the entire of 2024, which is that kind of 1991, 1990s sort of level. After tapping to there, that's kind of your bottom of your range. Any given point, you're free to go wherever you want. And this is what price is currently doing, right? Driving straight up. So very bullish for the month. Weekly, you have a closure above, or your previous weekly closure above the range, at 2072. You now have a closure above this range up here, which is 2150. That was all-time highs back in December. So you have a breakout above that zone. All right, so what does that indicate? It indicates that you are very likely going to be up to this zone now. So the range you're probably trading for the week is probably within here, if it wants to respect, right? So I would expect if the weekly wants to drive, right, and we're looking to follow some sort of price action on lower time frame, you may get some bottom wicks, you know, tapping into around this 2150 level. If you do, fantastic. We can look to take, you know, the re-break, the flip of the weekly candle, whatever it is, to start retesting those highs at 20, basically 2200s, right? So we have range to fill, right? Understanding from here up to this is like 150, nearly 160 pips, right? So there's definitely range. And on the way down, we could also get some sells depending on how price kind of plays out, right? So, you know, range both ways. But your weekly, right, we're understanding previously you had some rejection at 2150. Now you're kind of breaking above. So pretty clean traffic to continue going up, right? Simple breakouts above when price is moving so aggro. Your entire March probably will be moving quite a lot, and we haven't shown signs of really stopping yet. So, you know, we'll have a look. But cool. Daily still bullish, right? But daily bullish, respecting this level at 2194, 2200s, right? So any given point, we could see a steeper bottom wick. We would prefer to see a steeper bottom wick before re-breaking the highs to come up back up to 2200s and then re-breaking those highs. But not too much we can really say about the daily, besides the fact that you did create some micro structure on the way up, right? So maybe your 4 hour, 1 hour, it is creating structure on its way up. So you'll likely see liquidity in some areas, but also when it does want to push, it just pushes because you have the direction already. All right, so less about, you know, the daily, I would say. Just understanding your daily, weekly, monthly is very bullish, right? With the small caveat that you're potentially going to come down for the month if you flip, right? So if you flip for the monthly, looks like you have some pretty clean range to come down towards that 1990 sort of level there. But 4 hour, right, we're understanding again, right? If we just draw up our ranges for the 4 hour, you have kind of this similar level at the very top, right, at around 2195, but you also did create some sort of resistance at 2186. You also have a previous resistance around this 2166 area here. We'll see how valid these are on the smaller time frame, but kind of just putting that here for now, right? We have a level at 2150, so we don't really have too much information, right? 3 lines, I would say, overall for this. But we're very bullish, right? This 4 hour has no top wick. Any given moment, you're going to come up to create that top wick before you're coming down. So your next weekly's candle could do anything, right? If it wants to come up first, then cool. We can look to take those sells down if it starts re-breaking the lows after re-breaking the high. So for example, if it does something like this, right, it's come up, oh wow, top wick breaking 2195, and then it flips bearish, cool, we can look to take some sells to come down from here, right, from around this kind of level here down to our support at 2166, and that's a pretty nice 130 pip range. So there's range to fill, right? Just depends what's going to happen first. Obviously I'm more bullish, so if price can come down right up to some sort of areas around here, start respecting on the smaller time frame, right, if it does something like this, and then you get like a bullish candle, something like looks like this with like a pretty steep bottom wick, we could be looking for, you know, the re-break of the highs off like around here after a steeper bottom wick, something like this, to retest at least, right, the flip of this candle and maybe hold some runners towards here, and maybe above. But there's a lot of ways we can play this on just the 4 hour. Not too much information, so we're going to need to drop down to the smaller time frame, which is going to be hourly in this case. Hourly is looking pretty nice, right? You can see we're creating structure on the way up, right? We're not just kind of pushing straight up. Obviously, when it does push, it pushes, right? You see this? Just pushes. Here, you also had some pretty clean pushes, right? Here, right? You grab liquidity, clean push up. and then after that you just continued your momentum all the way up. In this case, it's looking like we're rejecting off of this sort of area. So cool, we came down, we respected this area on the 4, right? Oh, sorry, on the 1. Any given point, because we respected, price is going to flip to come back up, right? As this was creating a bottom wick, this was just liquidity potentially for us to come back up, retest these highs. So I would say you have some pretty clean range here. The only issue is I don't know how market's going to open, right? That's the first thing. I also don't know if weekly is going to create a bottom wick or a top wick first, because that's going to affect my trades for the entire week, right? But I would say it's pretty much, you have a pretty nice range fill towards around this 2185 area, which high chance will get filled eventually. I won't be taking a buy off the rip, right? Just exactly what I was saying just now. Weekly needs to create a top or bottom wick first. Ideally, what could happen is, because your hourly is also closing with no top wick, if it does something like this, I'm going to need some structure, right? So something that looks like this potentially, maybe comes back down, and then a bullish closure like this, or like this, and then a re-break of those highs. What I'll then look for is, cool, we have now this breakout, right, with a steeper bottom wick. I'll look for some bottom wick, doesn't have to be too steep depending on the volume, right? And then I'll look for this fill up to here, right? So looking for this range between 2179 and this 2185 sort of area. So I would say it's pretty clean range to go up. I'm not going to be looking for a direct kind of range fill immediately, because I'm expecting probably some bottom wicks for this candle, and your hourly close with no top wick. So a lot of stuff that can happen, but that's probably what I'm expecting. And if this shows up, then cool, I can look to take some flips of the candle. Why am I taking the flip, right? I don't know, if anybody wants to put some, let's do some interactive Sunday chat, right? Well, why am I looking for the flip here as opposed to the wick entry, or yeah, just basically those two? Because the flip is essentially either break of the previous or the flip. Those two are relatively similar. Like, as long as this wick here isn't like all the way up here, right? But anybody in chat, why am I looking for the flip and not a wick entry down here? Right? Let's see who's been listening for the past couple of... How long have I been streaming now? 6 months, maybe? Less than that? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Anybody brave enough in the chat? This is just an interactive learning session, guys. Because price closed within the range and needs to be filled. Price closed back into this range and needs to be filled. But why am I looking for this entry, right? The flip of this candle compared to the wick entry. So why am I not waiting? So wick entry would be when price is closed above the range, right, and it's coming down currently, right? It's creating a bottom wick. Why am I not taking a buy immediately here? And I'm waiting for it to flip and then taking that buy. That buy stop. The buy stop compared to the wick entry. I wouldn't say it's the easiest answer, but I think it's something you guys can probably manage. Thing is, once I say it, you'll probably be like, ah, yes, of course, right? Because it could be a fake out, yeah. I would say that it could be the case. I would say, okay, so let's discuss this. I would say the first thing, right, is it could be a fake out. Yes, any given point, right? Price did have this massive rejection coming down. Let's have a look. Maybe Mike said because if it creates a bottom wick and then comes back up to break the flip, it should drive up and there's no reason for it to come back down. Yes. Okay, I mean, let's just, and the flip is saying there's no reason for it to go down anymore. Okay, so essentially the reason I'm taking it on the flip here and not the wick is any given point, this is a massive rejection to come down, right? Yes, we didn't really break below this level, but any given point, right, if you look at the structure for the daily, right, and everything, you haven't created a very steep bottom wick. Any given point, when price does want to create a steep bottom wick, it can, right? And it would probably create it relatively steep. So don't want to be in that situation. where this could potentially fake me out to grab liquidity further down, right? Because this is for, you know, for how long now? When was the last time we got such a steep rejection, right? Because rejected off here to come down to here. That's a 200 pip rejection, right? So if that's the rejection that's currently happening, this could be a fake out, right? Price could be, changing structure at the moment and looking to come down. Secondly, right, if I remove all this is a 1 hour with no top wick. Any given point, price can be coming up to create that top wick for this hourly to come down, right? And this 4 hour top wick that hasn't been created yet, right? Because we understand this is a 4 hour. This could happen later. I don't know when that could happen, right? So price could come down all the way and start breaking these lows before coming back up, because it may need that kind of level of liquidity, right? 4 hour no top wick, you could expect a wick fill to come back down, right? All the way to here. And then if it really does want to flip, you may see a re-break of some of these lows to come back up. So I would say those three main things, right? Number one is your hourly no top wick here. Any given point creates a top wick to come down. Number two, weekly open. You don't know if it's going to come up or down, right? So waiting for one extra confirmation. In the third case, right? Third reason, massive rejection to come down, right? Be a little bit more careful. We are understanding we are still bullish, but with slightly more confirmations. But yeah, essentially, I think you guys, got most of that. And yeah, that was good stuff. Good stuff. So let's finish off this analysis, right? We're understanding we're looking for some buys. That could be scenario one for buys. If we get if price just starts flipping above here, I'm gonna need a closure, right? Because this is nice, but now there's less volume, right? So I'm expecting, even if you do get a breakout above, probably looking for some liquidity, right? So probably something like this to reflip. And this probably, right, again, looking for the flip or the break of the highs, either one, for us to retest from here all the way up to here. And that's quite nice to fill. And this would be nice liquidity as well, right? Because look at this. Last time you grabbed liquidity, right? You filled the range afterwards, but you still came back down to grab liquidity, right? So in this case, if you came back down, grab liquidity first time, I'm expecting another bottom wick before going up, right? Here you had one bottom wick, two bottom wicks before you filled the entire range. So you have the opportunities, right? Just don't need to FOMO into it to try to grab that move. And if it happens, right? Let's look at the 30 and so on. So your 30 also is kind of respecting, again, you've been respecting this level here, right, on your 30, and then you suddenly get a breakout above. I am expecting price to drive up, right, probably, but if I want to catch this drive from here to here, I'm going to need a bottom wick, man. I'm going to need a bottom wick breaking a lot of these lows, probably coming down to around this 2173 level before I can look to take those buys continuing up. Potentially even some of the, anywhere between here and here, I would say, like here and here, between this 2170, basically 2172.4. Those two zones is kind of what I'm looking for. 515, look at this, right? This is not great. This is not what you want to see, because you've closed, bearish at a resistance, top wick. If this flipped at that point, would have come down straight away. So any given point, this could be a fake out to come back down. On your 15, I mean, you could be looking for above 2081, but again, I'm gonna need a, if it does close above what I'll need, right? So I'll probably need it to come back down. Probably it won't be a top wick. It won't be a bottom wick because it won't have enough volume to flip. So I'll probably need it to just do something like this, come back down, right? Any given point, it could do something like this where it does this, right? In this case, then cool, yeah, I can now look for a re-break of these highs, a closure potentially, right? And then bottom wick fill, right? So that could be what I'm looking for. And that on your hourly, on your 13, your 30-minute time frame, hourly, 4 hour, all of this makes sense, right? In terms of that bottom wick, I just literally drew the same thing on all different time frames. So the idea that I'm looking for is basically the same. I need a bottom wick, and I need a closure above, right? So hourly, what's that going to be, right? Bottom wick, probably basically a fake out again to come back up, a bullish fake out. 30 is going to be, again, a bottom wick, steeper bottom wick. 15 is probably we're going to be looking for some breakouts above 2081. 5 and whatever, yeah, probably also a buy once you get breakout above 2081. But yeah, like this whole zone here, from here to I would say here, is untradeable for me. I cannot trade this range, probably even down to around here. I cannot trade this. If you do get breakouts above, breakouts below, I probably won't be even looking for sells until you break below maybe here. Yeah, if you break below here, I'll consider some sells. 2163, because that's quite far away, right? So you're breaking this low. In terms of structure, right? Just think about it. Your structure is you've come back down, massive rejection, bottom wick, respected level. You start coming back up. If you now retest up to 2085, cool, then I can probably look to capture this range for sells. But if not, I'll need to look for a rebreak of this low, but that could be liquidity for us to continue going up, as we mentioned just now, right? Because your weekly bottom wick needs to be relatively steep. But if not, if it wants to continue breaking below, I'll look for some breakouts, right? Below 2163, maybe below 2162, this sort of area, right? I'll look for breakouts and then top wicks to come back down. So that's the only way I can look for sells. Any sells before that will need some pretty steep top wicks before that happens. But yeah, cool. Let's see what the Zoom boys have been up to. So, how you doing? I'm doing well. Early session today. How's your week? How's your weekend?
Yeah, pretty busy, but good.
Yeah, busy.
Yo.
Sup.
Yo. Tom, Elvis.
How you doing?
Yo, Jacob, how you doing?
Okay. Why do you keep saying this is an early time? Don't you always stream at this time?
Bro, I started at like 9:30.
Yeah, something like
4:30. Like 30 minutes late. You keep on saying early.
Bro, 30 minutes late. That was 30 minutes early, bro.
and then time.
Did time go back for you?
Maybe it's like daylight saving time or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Wait. Oh wait, you're not joking?
No, I'm not joking, bro. Literally half an hour early.
I don't know. That's weird then, because it's 4:50 p.m. for me, which is the normal time.
Okay. Maybe it's just. Well, now it is, right? Now it's. I technically stream at 5 p.m. your time, right? I think.
No, 4 p.m. my time unless.
Oh, I think time probably went back or went forward an hour for either of us then.
Yeah, true. I had a question about a trade I took. I think it was on. When was it? The 8th. When was that? Friday? Yeah, Friday.
Friday, so, yeah.
Basically,
time frame?
Yeah, it was the 30-minute.
Yeah.
It was like right at the top. There's that bullish closure actually. Yeah, the bullish closure a bit earlier on.
This one?
There you go. Yes, that bullish closure there.
Yeah.
Took a buy from that.
Yeah.
It was a wick entry as well.
Like down here or something?
Yeah, it wasn't as steep as I'd like, but
okay, yeah.
It was like 5 or so pips as a wick entry.
Yeah.
Anticipating that he'd come back and create that top wick if it was going to drive down.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, so the next candle came down first, made alert, and then flipped up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it should be good. And then it came like, my break-even point was at the flip of that candle.
Yeah.
After it closed. It came like so close to tapping that level.
Yeah.
But didn't quite, and then it came down. And then I moved stop loss to break even. Well, no, stop loss to that 30 candle low.
Yeah.
That first bearish one.
So.
I was like, when it breaks that, it's likely to keep driving.
Yeah.
Then I got out at like 11 pip loss. I was sort of wondering like, if that was all right management, or should I have gotten out a bit earlier on that top wick?
I would say that there's an issue with this this overall the setup. I think is you're expecting price to, if it wants to push, right, it would. I mean, it can push with all-time high kind of liquidity, but with the way this happened, right, if you're looking at the 30, right, you've been slowing down quite a lot here. Like previously, when you get these pushes, right, and then you re-break the push high, cool, we can look to take these entries. But in this case, right, you've just stopped essentially for an entire area. So in terms of our cycles, right, we're understanding, we could get pushes and then consolidation, liquidity, and then continue, right? Even though this is all-time high sort of situation, we're still looking for this in to some degree, because it's been happening right here. it's been happening like, well, not really here, but like, you know, it's stopped here and then you grab some liquidity before going back up. Here you grab liquidity. Here you got some break the lows. So it does kind of happen. So I would say once you did break out of this range, you're probably expecting something down here like this, essentially. Like all of this kind of closure respecting here, and then it just kind of starts pumping up with no top wick. Is a little bit suspicious for me. And then also with this, because you've essentially formed a support here, right? You formed a support like right here. You got a bit of a breakout, I would say, with the bottom wick, but in the grand scheme of things, right? Like you're looking at your hourly potentially closing like that. Your 4 hour is pretty nice, but you also didn't really have too much structure. I would say it's a little bit more difficult in terms of the way you managed it. I think it was probably the best you could have managed it. I would say if this was your entry, right, 2166, like basically, did you get in on this entry or this candle? Which candle was it?
It was, yeah, that candle, yeah.
This candle. You're expecting a top wick here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I would say, yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I probably would have taken the re-break of this high. Well, hindsight, right? I would say if you did re-break this high, probably that was the best trade. The wick entry, expecting a top wick, I think is a little bit more risky just because it kind of stopped again around this area with some wicks as rejections. The way you managed it.
Yeah, I was thinking that 30, which closed like doji, it's like almost liquidity because he came down, broke previous low, closed like doji, and then we came down again. For like technically more liquidity, I was thinking, and then you got a closure above. So I was thinking it probably should drive up a decent amount, but
yeah. So the thing is with liquidity, well, sorry, with calm, yeah, gold has no ceiling. Yeah, agreed, man. With doji candles, it depends on the time frame. So for example, we were just on the 30, right? Your 30 candle doji looks like this. On your 5, right, we have the highlighted box. What does this look like? It's making a lower low, right? Lower low coming up back up to create that lower high. So even though you're seeing it as a doji candle on your 30, it has a story on your smaller time frame. So you're more bearish, I would say, in this case. And I think the position is not bad, right? Like you're expecting, you know, some liquidity to be grabbed, but at the same time, if you zoom in on the smaller time frame, you're understanding you haven't broken this high. You've come back down to the bottom of the range. So if you're a range trader like Calm, then you're probably good to go, and you should probably have closed somewhere, I don't know, top of the range. You didn't really tap, so it's a little bit more difficult, but I think the way you managed the trade was good though. Like if you're looking purely at the 30-minute, right, you're understanding that if this came up close to flipping, right, like
I think it was actually like the re-break of the
like
current
here,
candle.
like some of this, right, and then it starts coming back down, or like you got in like somewhere around here or something, maybe. Where did you get in?
What time did that candle close?
This was a 11:30 candle.
But yeah, so you see how it came down initially, like with barely any top wick.
Yeah.
And then made low, and then started pushing back up, and like barely top, like just missed that previous top wick, and it started coming down again.
Oh, here, so this is the right entry, and then you kind of like you entered around here, and then started going up, and then
I think it's a little bit higher, but essentially
Yeah,
it came
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and then once it broke that current high, when it broke the current low, I was like, okay, that's actually a top wick, and it's going to flip, and now it's going to drive down more. So
I would say you probably had, like, I mean, if you're looking at the 15, let's have a look. 15, you had an entry here, top of the range. I mean, you did have a nice top wick. I would have probably went break even. How many pips was this? Let's say you had an entry around here, like up to this top of the range here, that's 14, even this is around 10. I would have probably used this as a break even here. Top of the range here, you did struggle a little bit. You have some resistance, you have this wick, that's probably what I was mainly looking for.
yeah, it's just because I don't think I had the best entry. Like when I was saying wick entry, it was a bit. I think I was a bit quick on it because I was expecting such a quick drive. So when it like came down, the bottom with like 5 or 6 pips, I was like, okay, well it's gonna flip, so I might as well just get in here. But looking at it again, probably could have waited a bit longer for the bottom wick to tap into some sort of area before taking it.
Yeah.
Probably would have got out at least break even because the position would have been in some sort of profit. So
I think yeah, like the issue with those sort of trades is you don't know. Like it looks like it needs liquidity, right? So where is it going to grab liquidity? If is it going to be below here? Like if you put your stops all the way down here, right? That's a 200 pip stop. You can't really do that, right? So
yeah, no.
you can't really put it here really because any given point it can break below this and then come back up. So yeah, like I would say managing it early was probably a good decision because how much did this drive down? This drove down like basically 100, 120, right? So
Yeah, it would have stopped me out.
yeah, so I would say the way you managed it was probably good. Yeah, given that situation. Was this
It was
news
also
or
the-
something?
Yeah, that was news. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely no way we could have traded that. Oh yeah, this came down first, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if like I don't know, it was partly like a psychology thing as well because I had work like later on, so I couldn't trade New York.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like maybe I took sort of a lower quality trade because I knew I was like, okay, well this is sort of essentially the last trade of the week.
Yeah.
Because I won't be around to trade New York, so I sort of like just took a lower entry,
I know,
just
yeah.
for the sake of getting a trade.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the best kind of idea here is like you're kind of ranging again here. You're not really doing anything, waiting for this manipulation, and then the rebreak of the highs would have been the best.
Oh yeah, actually I took that as well. Then I took the 5 closure above.
This
I think I
here.
mentioned it Discord, yeah. I took that on like a wick entry as well.
Oh, nice.
And then
That fucking
yeah,
drove.
it was really annoying though because I got about I think I saw like 70 pips. Didn't
Yeah.
close half, didn't do anything. I just moved stop to break even and started to trail it in profit.
Yeah.
And then I got out of like 8 pips or something, which is obviously a bit annoying, but
It's alright. 8
yeah,
pips
I
is
think
better
I
than
should have
0.
closed half at some point if I thought.
Yeah, I would say you probably should have. I mean, like, as I came back, I don't know exactly what happened on like the one. Let's have a look, right? Like this, as it came down, like you got a wick entry around here or something. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's difficult to say. Yeah, it was just so volatile though at this time, so a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I was thinking like after break of all of those and then like news volume.
Yeah, this was
reaching all-time
clean.
highs. I thought it was just going to keep pushing to be honest.
This was really, yeah. I mean, I was surprised it didn't really continue pushing and it came all the way back down, because this like that was really clean. But it just shows we had this very strong support here, and then once we broke it, right, just straight up. So that's why if we're looking for buys now above 2081 or 2181, it's pretty clean. But we just need that bottom wick again.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
Good weekend.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks. That news candle was crazy there.
Yeah, that was.
Like, holy shit.
That first bit is insane.
Oh, you took the break on those highs?
I think I took the big break of the highs. Yeah.
I tried to take the
Yeah,
flip,
it was too quick with me.
and then I was in at the break of the highs, in between going, oh, it's flipped, and
Yeah.
pressing the buy button.
It was so fast. I thought like you'd have time. Like I think the flip here, I was a little bit hesitant because any given point you did close bearish on your 30. I'm pretty sure. Like it came down last minute to close bearish on your 30. So I was like,
I wondered if that was a pre-news move
yeah.
to give news a bottom wick to come up.
Yeah, no, I think it probably was, but like for me as well, like you closed just below this area as well. So I was like, okay, I probably won't take the flip, but I'll look for the break of this high, and then it just straight bottom wick started pushing up. I was like, wow, this is probably, if it does move, this is probably when it's gonna move. But I think I did get slipped to like somewhere around here, and then I took.
Did you have a buy stop or something?
No, I just executed.
So how we? I'm just so confused. Like, how are we supposed to manage positions when we get here? Like, there's no level that we can sort of base our EPs off. There's no support resistance. It's literally just like empty price action.
That's the thing. I would say the price action prior to it is still good. You can still hunt. The only issue is
Yeah.
where do you kind of stop hunting, right? Like where like, but I would say like if you go down to your smaller time frames, like for example, you have this, right? The bottom wick, say you got it on the wick entry or whatever, or even the flip, right? When it did come up to tap this high or whatever, you probably would have moved stops to break even at least, right? Like that's 50 pips you're looking at. But also
Yeah,
like
I did that.
like here, like when it's kind of flipping to come up, you're expecting
It
okay.
flipped, that next 5 like flipped up, then flipped. I think it went down first, then flipped up, then
And then
went
down again, yeah.
and then it flipped back up.
Yeah.
And then I moved stops to break even because I had one on the 5 flip, and
Yeah.
then I got tapped out again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just like price just being like that is just unlucky. But the logical thing to do, right, is when this 5 flips, you just go stops to break even once you kind of like start re-breaking the highs and like you're seeing it move.
Yeah, it re-broke because it bottom wicked and then top wicked and then flipped again.
Yeah, like
down.
this, right? Because it came.
And then it came up and
here.
broke its high.
Yeah.
And then I
up.
moved stops to break even.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
was
So.
like,
They're supposed to keep profit farm off. I'm still confused on that part. Like, I understand all the break-even stuff. It's just sort of when your position's running in, like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 pips. Like, when do you close out? If
Honestly,
yeah, I don't know.
for me, I think it's just like I don't know. It's like there's no answer to it. It's like that one. It's like that one video I sent you in Discord of that one guy speaking like to the other guy. It's like one of those questions. But you could say like when price is making a higher high, or you could say, oh well, I'm gonna close half at like 40 pips, or have like a set amount of like. I feel like it's just one of those questions.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I would.
I want to base it off like pip value because like that pip's just so arbitrary, right? Like it's not, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Saying 40 or 50 pips. I don't want to base it off that.
when it's pushing like this, you could always just close when you see a red like a red candle close, and then
like the one or something.
yeah, on like the one,
Oh.
like during the news, and then if it re-breaks the high again after it's like found resistance, you're kind of quitting to take the break of the highs, right?
Wait, so you're saying what, a 1 minute close bearish and then
you close your first, you just close the position, and then if it comes down, it comes down. But if it re-breaks the high, maybe you can just take the re-break of the high, because it's like found resistance, and then it's re-breaking the resistance, right?
Yeah, but it could be like a close bearish, a break of the high, then flip down.
Yeah, I mean you'd have to wait. You'd have to have a bottom wick on it, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would say like there's so many different ways you could really tackle the same problem, and there's no like right answer essentially, because both like if you do move your stops to break even after re-break the high, like these candles here, you could have got stopped out, right? If you moved it really very less aggressively and you kind of waited for like the wick fill or whatever it was, and it's like okay cool, yeah, you would have won. But also, is that the right way to manage it for all the positions? There's no like right answer, I would say. When it comes to kind of this all-time high stuff, it's just the baseline is just market structure, right? So technically, when you re-break the highs, you should create a higher high, but because of the kind of all-time high volume and kind of perception of gold being at all-time highs, you're expecting that higher high to drive a little bit further. So waiting for it to actually drive that little bit further. And you're confident that okay, if it does come back down, high chance it is gonna start flipping. Then I would say that's probably your cue. And like it's almost a little bit more of a gut feeling based on your experience. And when I say experience, I'm talking about the experience you've accumulated for the past 7 days. Like not even that much experience, right? So again, there is no right answer. Which unfortunate, but that's kind of what we have to deal with.
Hate how there's not like an answer, because like I'm trying to make like some sort of trading plan or strategy or whatever. You can't create a strategy if you haven't got a plan or something to follow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's down to like how you feel in the day, which is not what you want.
Yeah, but we have market open, so market open bullish. How many pips? Like 20, 17, 18. It's not bad. pretty good, right? Because if we're looking for those sells, right, sells below 72, could be pretty good. The only ways I can get this 4-hour flip, guys, is if it comes up, breaks this high, right, and then closes bearish. I can't take a flip. If it closes bearish, probably I can look for something. And like, if it doesn't fill this entire wick immediately, then yeah. But it's difficult. Like, I'm gonna need it to do. That is very wrong. We need to close like this, and then next candle comes up, and then I'll look for this. Like, that's the only way I can get these sells. Yeah, not really looking for sells at all. Because any given point, at any given moment, right? Because you're understanding you're so bullish. Any given point, price could just do this, right? It's coming up first, right? Then comes down for a bottom wick, and then just reflips bullish, and then you end up having a candle which looks like this. And it's like, well, cool. Price just wanted to push up. You're so bullish, right? Look at some of these candles.
Just take your 10 pips on the daily flip.
Look at these. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I expected a little bit more from this market open, but I mean, the way it's what it's doing now is actually quite nice. If you get a 15 respecting all this, you're starting to build that structure around here. Asian will be quite nice for you guys. If you guys are trading Asian, I'm probably gonna sleep. Cool. Calm was here for a little bit. Any last questions? I'm probably gonna end it around here.
I think the news trade that I took, I kind of messed up because it made a higher high, right? And then it started coming down, and there was a 1 minute candle with no bottom wick.
Yeah, the first one.
And I think it was the first, basically. Yeah, the first one. And it has no bottom wick there at like 131, right?
Yeah.
The one before. Yeah.
This one you mean?
Yeah, and it made a top wick first, and then like came towards flipping. So then I just closed based on the fact that I was like, oh well, I'd like made back the loss that I took.
Wait, so you got in off this candle?
No, I got in way earlier, but I was up like 45 pips, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, it might flip. And then so I just closed it. I think I should have just put the stop right below the flip.
Yeah.
Because if I'd held it, I ran 140 from my starting positions.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it sounds like you were probably a little bit scared just because of how much volume there was.
Yeah.
But I would say if you trust the analysis, which is it's difficult, it's not easy to trust your analysis with volume like this. But if it comes down, breaks all the lows, and then flips and breaks the highs, like this is exactly what we look for when it comes to liquidity, right? So it's a pretty nice trade. So even holding it for that extra little bit, but like re-breaks the high the second time, like it would likely play out, right? So
I think I just got in my head a bit about, oh well, the money's on the table, or like the amount's on the table, right?
Yeah, it does happen.
I can just write off the bad day.
But think about it, right? You still managed to at least exit like break even, or like
I
no
got 37 pips.
Well, you got 37 pips, like,
But like, I'm just like mad at myself because it didn't even flip, so I just like panic closed.
Right. Yeah, like down here, these areas, right?
No. Like on this on the 131 candle.
Oh, you closed here when it was coming back down for a little bit, and then it started.
Because it opened up and then stopped pushing and then started coming back, like creeping back down. Yeah. And then I closed and then it pushed another like 60 pips.
I would say if you want, right? Like a lot of the times, if it does create a bottom wick and then starts driving up, amazing, right? Because then you can trail off that bottom wick. If it doesn't and it starts pushing and it's like kind of hovering here, but you're understanding this just happened, what you could do is if it's like kind of doing like this and it's like kind of hovering like this and then it comes back down, just move your stops to here. Like once it breaks
that's
this
what
high,
I'm saying. I should have done that instead of just close, because I think it would have been like 5 pips difference or something.
Yeah.
It's like that was just a bit stupid. Really.
That's all right.
I know for next time.
Yeah, exactly. Next time.
But also, like, one thing that Don was saying on, I think it was Friday, when he was in Jordan for a while, he was basically saying how, like, if he's entering a position off the 30, then he's not going to use, like, the 5 to
manage.
Sort of manage.
Yeah.
He only manages off the candle that he's actually trading on.
Yeah.
So I guess, Johnny, for you, in your case, like, what sort of time frame or what?
I mean, I was managing it off the 1, right?
Yeah, but like, you were managing off the 1, but what was the trade idea based off?
They grabbed liquidity, flipped, and was going to push up.
I would say it's probably just multiple. That's the issue.
But then it was like it driven. I saw 45 pips in 15 seconds. Like,
yeah, you made too many pips too quickly, man.
it all happened so fast, and then I just panicked.
It's just alright. I think have you been like recording yourself trading? Or like
No, but
you should try that. I don't know. I don't know what
It's experience as well, I think.
I don't think I've had a position where it's moved like that before.
Yeah, so like now you have, maybe next time that happens, you're like, okay, I know what to do now. So it happened. So we'll learn from like this trade.
Next NFP is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends, right? If we come back
into the
habit
range
of
flipping the NFP.
If it comes back into the range for MFP, like a lot of shit can happen, but
because
and it was mixed as well, which I thought was interesting. Which
yeah,
might have been why it came down first and then started driving so hard. Like as they processed the numbers.
I think they were expecting good numbers and then it didn't come out good. So like everyone had like was sells in and then saw the numbers and went, oh shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean, yeah. So like as they're processing all the numbers coming through, they're like, actually wait, this isn't as good as we thought or whatever.
Yeah.
And then sort of like change their
I think
bias.
also with kind of like all-time high psychology, right? It's like, oh, when gold is going to come down, it's going to come down hard because of that all-time highs. People think that. And then when it's failed to do that and re-breaks the highs, people are like, oh shit, okay, it's not coming down, abort, and just start buying. Yeah, a lot of mentality comes into like human psychology, I feel. At least the retail trader space. I don't know how much it affects it, probably not that much, but...
I mean, like... No, Johnny, go.
I was going to say, I don't think most of the bank traders care.
Yeah, I don't think they
so
really
much for
care.
that stuff.
Like, I think Wix has said this multiple times. It's like when you're sort of reading price action, he's saying you're basically just like reading human psychology.
Yeah, you are.
And, like price is just a reflection of human psychology playing out. So in that case, then I guess he could be right in the fact that like it's just human psychology being like, oh shit, wait, actually, what's going on? So,
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, right, like the money where it kind of comes from, like the banks are making money off other people, right? Because they're trying to get in at, like institutions are trying to get in at a certain price or whatever. So they're trying to fuck us over, right? So in that sense, the markets is a true reflection of everybody's psychology and also plus manipulation. So the liquidity, if it's doing this, right, and then it starts pushing the other way, it's like, okay, yeah, this is enough orders for us, and the banks are happy, they're gonna get in here, cool, and then now we're gonna start pumping up to make money, right? And like the flip is kind of like almost one confirmation of that happening. And as that's happening, you can kind of jump on board because if the banks are getting or institutions or whatever, like if they're gonna manipulate it all the way down to here, and then it starts re-breaking the highs, I mean it's not gonna stop just here, right? I mean it could, but like they're probably gonna look for as big of a pull as they can, and also there will be some residual momentum. Like even if they start to sell or whatever, they can't sell immediately, right? They're gonna sell at a better area, so. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what they think about all-time highs. Like, how do they trade all-time highs?
Yeah.
Cool. Probably gonna stop around here, guys. Any last-minute stuff? If not, we can just cover more tomorrow.
Is the 4-hour candle for us an hour earlier?
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like
because we're out of sync with the daylight saving time change.
Wait, are you guys actually?
Yeah,
for like
that's
3
yeah.
weeks. So all the news is now at 12:30 for us for like 3 weeks.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I was wondering if the
4 hour is
the
also
4 hour will be at like 1 p.m. instead of 2 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
Okay.
1 p.m. and then 5 p.m.
It's gonna be weird.
Just a little bit weird, yeah, but hopefully it's all the same. I don't know why there's so many fucking different times. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. Also, I was looking at like the futures as well,
Mm-hmm.
and their candles like move slightly differently because their 4-hour close at different time from the CFD 4-hour. So that was a bit weird. I don't know if that's because of the time difference as well, but yeah, that's what to sort of get used to.
Probably.
The chart looks so different if the 4-hour close at different time.
What is the futures? Can you see it on TradingView?
If you have, well, yeah, it'll just be delayed. So if you like, depending on what futures contract, but if you just put NGC,
NGC.
yeah, which is the micro gold futures.
Which one do I use?
M.
Ah, this one.
That one, yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? Just massive gaps.
Yeah, caps a lot. Because obviously the market closes like a weird time as well, I think.
Jesus. Interesting. Does it look the same almost? I mean, it looks
It's pretty much
basically
the
the
same
same.
price action, but I think the candle's like an hour off or something.
Wait, so basically, I don't understand. Like, why would you trade either one? Like, are they not
Over
the same?
the other?
Or are they not just the same stuff?
Yeah. So like based on price action, I'd just use the gold one that we look at.
Right.
But
Okay.
it's like it's essentially a different trading vehicle, right? So instead of using CFDs, or just trade the futures.
Right. Okay. I see. Cool. Right. Gonna call it around here. Gonna grab some dinner. Yeah. I'll see you guys. Speak to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah,
Have a
thanks,
good rest
Alice.
of your week. No worries.
Cheers, boys.
See you guys.
See you, Johnny. See you, David.
Let's see.
All the boys on the YouTube, thanks for coming up. We did have a little bit of interaction today. I think I remember why I didn't do this. It's because of the delay. It's horrible. Like I have to wait like 20-30 seconds to get like one answer, and then if I reply to you guys, there's no back and forth essentially, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, hopefully we can do more of that if we get people to answer the questions. We may do some polls or whatever later on, but yeah, thanks for joining up. Hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend. We're obviously going into Monday relatively soon, so Don, I think, will be streaming that, and yeah, we'll see how the market prints. Don't FOMO into any moves immediately, right? Let price do its thing initially, waiting for whether that is, price is kind of struggling here and then it's decided to start making a bottom wick, then cool, right? We're going to need some structure before that happens. Just based off the very beginning of this candle, I can't really do much because it's a daily candle, it's a weekly candle. But yeah, cool. I'm going to leave it around here. I'll speak to the members obviously tomorrow, but I'll try to be back on, I'm not back on Tuesday, Wednesday, so the next stream will be Thursday, unfortunately. Tuesday, Wednesday, every single week I am doing some other DVS related stuff. So stuff for the community, stuff for, stuff that we're actually putting in the works for. So yeah, I will speak to you guys all on Thursday. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to my Instagram, and I'll try to reply when I can. So on EvolutionDVS or on the Discord, if you can find me. So yeah, just like kind of mention me or whatever, just at me. But cool. I will speak to you guys all soon. Have a good rest of your day. And peace. Peace.